Hi, this is Matt Donegan, Business Spotlight Series. I'm here with Mark. Mark, tell me something about you. Tell me something about your business, please.
Hi Matt, my name's Mark Deragon. I'm an director of an IT company called RedDoor Managed IT Services. I've been in the industry 35 years now, so I know a little bit about IT. The business, we effectively run managed services, so anything from antivirus to PC supply to servers and switches and things like that. More so now, cybersecurity. So that's a big part of our business model as it is now.
And what kind of size businesses do you deal with, Mark?
We deal with any businesses from a single user, a startup, up to about 100 users. Anything above that, they tend to start having their own internal IT departments. Yeah. However, we do supply larger businesses with product, so the actual managed services, not the support side of things.
Yeah, okay. And where have you seen the biggest growth at the moment, Mark? There's a big shift in the industry, I believe, at the moment. But where's that moving for you?
The big shift now is very much into cybersecurity. There's a big threat out there. Lots of businesses are just coming around to the idea that they need to do more for their staff. Large organisations and medium organisations, I think they have about 90% large organisations have got full cybersecurity. But when you get down to small, medium enterprises, some of those go down to sort of 20%. So there's a massive a chasm in between the two. And the small businesses have got to try and catch up a little bit because they're becoming targets.
Right, okay. And cybersecurity, how more sophisticated is it getting now, or is it has it changed in nature?
It has. I read something the other day. 90% of cyber attacks are from phishing. So, and that's very much wide bait. If you look from a phishing perspective, they'll send out millions and millions and millions of emails, and they're just looking for someone just to catch. So that being itself isn't very advanced. It's what they do after. Once they have the details, it's the processes they go through are becoming more and more advanced when they get the right contacts that they want to attack.
Right. Okay. So this is more kind of like human hacking than IT hacking. Is that right?
Indeed. The biggest open door in any business is not the IT system. It's actually the user.
Yeah.
Most people know they need a decent password, but most users aren't trained well enough to spot the attacks when they're coming in. So most businesses lack in training their staff properly for spotting these cyber attacks.
Right. Okay. So you guys, you come in, you do the managed service, you ensure the system's running efficiently, you provide cybersecurity tools, and then do you provide some training as well for the employees or top tips? Is that something you do?
Yes. So we follow what's called, I won't get technical, but it's called a NIST framework. So all of our customers that we have and the ones we work with, we instill an IT policy, which includes standard things like passwords and firewalls and things like that, but goes much deeper into a specific 5 controls that the NCSC, the National Cybercrime Agency, along with ISME, which are the UK certification body, have built. So if businesses use these 5 controls, almost immediately they remove 80% of their cyber potential attacks. It's a big reduction
Yeah.
straight away.
Yeah.
The rest of the 20% you can build in with training. So we go in, as you said, supply the product, supply policy, which is as important, supply the management of those policies and product, and then the training on the back end. The training has become a lot more, you could say, AI. So what happens is with the newer products that are out there is it'll simulate sending you a phishing email. If you click on that link, it sees that you need a little bit of training, and it's not, oh, you've done something wrong. It's that was an unintended link you clicked. Just watch this short video, and then slowly through the videos build up knowledge. And one of the things I say to our customers is, by building up the knowledge in your staff, not only are you helping your business, but you're helping them in their personal life as well, because it's not just businesses that get attacked, it's individuals. And in some ways, it can be more damaging for them in their personal life than it can be in their business life. So
Yeah, absolutely.
that's
Okay, I get that. What type of businesses do you find are the most prone to attack, or a very strong target for hackers?
But the very strong targets are the likes of your accountants and the solicitors. Accountants, both for obvious reasons, I guess. It's not just conveyancing, but solicitors have multiple customers, and some large businesses, some small businesses. Same with accountants. Going back to what I said earlier about the number of large businesses that have a really robust cyber security framework, it's very difficult for the cyber attackers to get into those businesses. So they're coming via your accountants and via the solicitors. If they have a weak system, they can backdoor into the large organisations.
Right. Okay. Well, that can cause chaos inside their client their client businesses. Clearly, are you finding that they are fast to adopt, or do you find that they're a little bit lacking in their speed?
The smaller firms, I guess, if you look at the big 200 plus partner firms, yes, they've got it covered. The smaller firms, the smaller accounting firms, maybe 10 accountancies, that sort of size, are quite a bit behind the larger companies. Unfortunately, a lot of businesses still think if you have antivirus, you've got cyber security. You don't. It's a very different animal.
Right.
Going back to this framework, and the ISME that I mentioned have a product called a Cyber Essentials certification. I'm not sure if you've heard about that.
Yeah, heard that. Yeah.
I'll give you a brief overview of what that is. It's effectively, there's two versions of it. One version is it's a thought-provoking. You've got to fill out a form. It's about 40 questions. And filling out that form makes you consider all of the elements that you need for a good, robust cyber security, and reducing that to 80%, that number I talked about. You can go on to a plus where someone like us then come to you and do an external audit as well, which makes you feel even more confident that what you've done is correct. But no, hardly any accountants I know have Cyber Essentials, and most of them say, I don't need it at the moment. And you go, well, it's not entirely true. But they're slow to adopt. Yeah.
I guess something like cyber attack, unless you've experienced it and the horrors of it, it is horrible. I've worked in organisations or alongside organisations that have had cyber attacks, and it is more than dispiriting. Most businesses don't, in fact, fully recover after a massive data breach in one way, shape or form, or it can take a long time to recover. Have you got, can I ask you what your 3 top tips would be, apart from giving you a call at RedDoor, obviously, What
Yes,
would be your
naturally.
three top tips?
Three top tips I would say is make sure you have MFA, which is multi-factor authentication, enabled on every one of your devices, and every one of the systems that you log into. Now, whether it's not just email, not just your PC, but all your online, every bit of software you log into, obviously banks, that goes without saying, but all the other bits as well, because that's where it sits. Make sure the PCs and your phones and devices are all up to date as much as possible, because those, if you don't update them, there's holes in the back where they come in through, which is why they put the updates out in the first place. And the biggest one by far is train your staff. Give them the tools they need to help you and themselves in their personal life. And that can be in the way of, even if it's just an infograph, download it from the internet, find what is cyber attack, what is phishing, give it to your staff, get them to read it. It could be a 5 minute. I've got one actually, I can send you one, and you can post it if you wanted to. It's a A4 sheet, probably 300 words. If everyone read that, they'd be at least have some tools.
Yeah.
That's my three top tips.
I very much like that, and I will repost it, by the way. So thanks very much for that, Mark. I really appreciate that. So look, we talked a bit about the state of the marketplace and the businesses that are more susceptible to it, and how you're helping those businesses out. So how do you see your business growing? How's your business developing at the moment? I know you're moving more into cybersecurity. Do you see that as a place where you can really grow the business further? If you've got any ambitions in that respect?
Indeed, I feel that IT support in its old form is disappearing. The new generation of users know how to use a PC. No disrespect to the older generation, but the new generations that they grew up with it. When I started IT 35 years ago, no one knew how to use a PC. Now, yeah, that's done. So the IT support is more centralized around cybersecurity. You need the products, the training, the help to get the cybersecurity systems implemented. That's where we're moving. We've undertaken a big change in the last sort of 12 months, retraining all our staff from being IT support people to being effectively cyber assessors. So we come in and do risk management in businesses to help them identify where their weaknesses are.
Yeah. Okay.
As I said, most of the time it's staff, but
okay. So you've seen a change in the marketplace. You're bringing in different specialists in different areas inside your business. What's your biggest challenge right now?
The biggest challenge for our business is acquiring the customers and helping them understand the importance of the cybersecurity. Our existing base of customers, we've been working with them for a long time. There's a lot of trust there. They trust us to help them, and when we say to them, you need this cybersecurity controls, they get it, they're fine. It's all the others. And I'm not saying other companies aren't doing the same as what we're doing, and I'm sure some of them are, but when we're coming across people, the most common answer we get is, we're only a small company, why are they going to attack us? And that's a barrier.
And what's your response to that, Mark? Because that kind of sounds a little bit like sticking their fingers in their ears. What's your response when someone says, we're only a small company, we don't need that?
So the cyber attackers don't know you're a small company when they're phishing you, because they just buy databases of emails. they might send 1 million emails a day. They don't know if you're a one-man band or part of a 10,000 person organisation. When you click on it, you become a target. So it doesn't matter if you're one single or 100. But if you've got the right controls in place, I can stop you clicking on most of those by, like I said, implementing the right controls. And unfortunately, they'll go to the next house. I always liken it a bit to you're walking down the street, walk to the first house, they have security gates, they've got alarm, they've got cameras, they've got everything. The intruder will probably walk to the next house. That's the same as having cyber essential controls in place. Unfortunately, you are just moving the problem, but if everybody moves the problem, then slowly it will dissipate.
Yeah, yeah, okay. So be vigilant is another part of this. Be aware that actually they don't know what's in your house, as it were, to use your analogy.
Yeah.
And act swiftly, because this isn't something which, once it's happened, the horse is bolted, it's out, right? So any sensitive information, if you're an accountant and you will have sensitive information from your clients, and if you're a solicitor, you most definitely will have sensitive information, then that's a saleable problem. And if you haven't got these things in place, your horse is already bolted, but the damage is done no matter what size. So that's what.
Okay. And most companies don't have any incident responses in place either. So when something does happen, medium, large companies, same situation, they got it. They know what they're going to do, what the procedure is, how that's going to work. Other than our customers, I'm not saying that because they're our customers, but I've never come across another small business that has an actual incident response for a cyber attack. So they pick the phone up and just start ringing. And at that point, you're already running out of time. You need to start immediately. As soon as you know something's happened, that's when you need to start your response to it. Okay. And this is a really good example of another idea for assistance. If you were to want to send links to a document that's hosted somewhere, say on your SharePoint or in the cloud, rather than sending out documents, if you send that document to the whole of your database by accident, that would become an incident. If you've done it the way that we suggest, you could just delete that document and you've actually had no data breach.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes total sense.
So it's just little tweaks in policy and procedure that can really make a big difference to how businesses can cope with accidents. Because accidents happen. We're all human.
Yeah. Well, Mark, this has been absolutely fascinating. I kind of want to speak more and more. I think once you send me this information, I think we probably need a part 2 to this. It sounds like there could be a good practice guide that we could put out there for people with regards to their cybersecurity needs and how they deal with it, because it actually feels like quite a deep subject. I think it's also going to be a pretty fast-moving subject with the way that technology is moving at the moment, with the way that our culture moves these days, so fast. And then when you look at new staff coming into businesses as well, every time someone's recruited into the business, they need to be led through this process, don't they? They need that kind of training. So absolutely fascinating. Look, Mark, I really want to keep in contact. I want to find out what you guys are up to. I want to find out about this particular issue, because it is a cause for concern. So thank you so much for the time today. I really appreciated it. I really wanted to talk more about your business journey as well, but let's do that next time around, and then and we'll keep in contact. So thank you so much, Mark. It's been a real pleasure.
Thank you, Matt. It's been a pleasure again. So I'll look forward to talking to you again. And like I said, we can maybe delve a bit deeper. Our number one, if I can help one person, stop one person being a victim of cybercrime, business or personal, then I'm doing the right thing. That's what we care about.
And it does really sound like the area that I think is of the most concern to this really is those accountants and solicitors. And it kind of really worries me actually to think about a lot of those smaller practices not having this in place, because if it goes wrong, it's
yes.
So look,
and it's relatively a low cost systems to put in. They don't have to be expensive. Yeah, like I said, you can just print out an A4 bit, give someone a bit of paper, and that's it.
it's effectively it's buying insurance.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Effectively, it's buying insurance without having to buy the insurance.
Yes.
Once the cat's out of the bag, that's it. It's done. So anyway, listen, Mark, thank you so much. Again, let's speak really soon. Let's keep in contact and let's find out more about what RedDoor is up to. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Matt. Cheers.
Bye-bye.